Okay, welcome back to Sports Weekly MN. I'm Duff, and with me is my brother and co-host Joe. Joe, is the weather outside a little frightful?
Oh, it's beautiful. It was a beautiful day. We got about 5 inches of snow last night, so we got, I don't
Wow.
know, 8 to 10 on the ground now. If you go into the swamp, that's over a foot, but that, it's grass holding it up and stuff. So
Right, right.
it's looks like Minnesota now, and it now it can get more snow. That would be fine.
um, and is it like a foot deep on your pond, like above the ice?
No, no, because I clear it off. I
Oh, you
plow
clear
it,
the whole pond.
most of it. Yep,
Okay, all right.
because our pond is was way lower than it has been in the past.
Right,
Because
right.
we had a dry summer and a really dry fall.
Mm-hmm.
And in
That's right.
fact, it would have been really dry, but like right before it froze, we got a good rainfall. So it like doubled in size, and
I
it
see.
still made me a third of the size it should be. But we got a lot of snow now, so maybe it'll creep back up in the spring.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Hmm.
Yeah, we've had a little bit of snow on and off, like a dusting here, a dusting there. Um, but everything's pretty clean. There are some piles in the like parking lots around here.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's not even really enough to go sledding so much.
How
So
much snow does Toronto usually get?
I would say it's variable. Like some years here, we've had a ton of snow, and other years it's like we go the whole winter and there's like maybe one good storm. Um,
If you were like 50 miles to the south, you'd have a lot of snow, wouldn't you? You're just
that's
on the
right. Yeah.
north side of the lake.
That's right. We are on the north side of the lake, so we don't really get
You
the
never get
lake
the lake
effect.
effect.
That literally across the lake they get dumped on.
Mm-hmm.
Feet. Yeah,
Feet,
many
feet of
many
snow.
feet of snow. Um,
That's okay. I was. Somebody asked me a question last week, and I'm like, yeah, I totally said the wrong thing. Just yeah, okay.
oh boy.
Sometimes.
So yeah, I don't know. We have a little snow. I was hoping for more, so we
Hmm.
could take the boys sledding. Um, and they call it tobogganing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like a what a Minnesotan would call sledding, here they call tobogganing. And our some of our European friends, they call it sleighs.
Sleighs.
Like, yeah, well, you take your sleigh and go sleighing.
Oh, okay.
So the sled is a sleigh, or yeah, that
I'd
one
call it a sled because that makes
first threw me
sense.
for a loop. I'm like, what? Sleigh? No, it's a sled. What? I see. That's your word for it. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So yeah. Anyway.
Well, we went tubing yesterday at Powder Ridge. That was a lot of fun. Which is a ski hill in the area,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
it was, it was probably more people that I seen in one place in a while, but way less than normally would be there.
Sure.
Does that make sense? And we were
They
all
have like
outside, so
some
I felt safe.
restrictions.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You had to buy tickets online. They only sold so many tickets. Yada yada yada.
Right. Got it. Well, hey, this week, a few things have happened. Uh, where should we start? So the Wolves, they're back on now, and they've had 4 games, and they're 2-2. And I've watched not the whole game, but I've watched at least half of all 4 of the games. And look, the first 2 games were fine. Actually, the second game was great. They had an amazing defensive like stand in the fourth quarter to hold off Utah. So that was, I would say, in terms of entertainment value, the second game of the season was the best by far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because they were up, and then like Utah kept creeping back, and then it was like last seconds of the game. And then they went to LA, and things have not gone well for the Wolves in LA. Totally destroyed by the Lakers, and then 2 days later, totally destroyed by the Clippers.
So
And
things went wrong in Utah, right at the end. Is that correct?
the offense struggled in the third and fourth quarters in Utah. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
But the defense held.
Mm-hmm.
So they basically escaped Utah by the skin of their teeth, kind of thing. or whatever the phrase is.
Mhm.
And but it was an exciting game. So from like an entertainment standpoint, as a fan, I want to be entertained, and I felt like I that was fun. Um, but you're right. Like all of a sudden, they were not taking good shots in the third and fourth quarters of the Utah game, and that has
Okay.
carried through for 2 games now. Just like so, the both of the games against the Los Angeles teams have been horrible, and one of the main reasons for that is they're not. The offense has just been so poor. It's like they're not really even running plays. They're just like, okay, I'm 2 feet beyond the 3-point arc and I don't know what to do, so I'll just throw it up. And like, yeah, oddly enough, most of those don't go back, don't go in the hoop. When they're contested from 2 feet beyond the 3-point line, and not getting a lot of penetration to the hoop. Nothing really is going on in the paint, and I don't know. Rubio is driving me crazy again. He drove me crazy the first time he was on the Wolves, and now he's driving me crazy again. Just making a lot of mistakes. There have been some plays where they're on like just sloppy passes that get stolen, and it's just not like no rebounding, offensive rebounding. Yeah, a lot of low quality shots. But look, the big news, the big news.
There's a reason for this, right?
Well, so partially we'll rewind it here. You can see this, right?
Yep.
Okay, so this is at the end of the Utah game, fourth quarter. Okay, and you can see 5 minutes left,
Mm-hmm.
and so this is Karl Anthony Towns, and he's really down. And they'll do a replay here. So you can see the Wolves were still up by 10, basically at this point,
Right.
with 5 minutes left. And Karl Anthony Towns landed like on his, I guess, left arm. And now I'm blanking. What injury does he have?
He dislocated his wrist.
Yes. Now I've dislocated my shoulders before, each of them, my right one and my left one, multiple times. And it is extremely painful to have a dislocated shoulder. I imagine it's extremely painful to have a dislocated wrist. I mean, it didn't look good. I think they'll show the replay here. Here we are. Okay, so they're going up, contested shot, bam! You can just, like all of, he's
that weight. He's a big guy.
He's a big guy. All that weight goes right on his wrist.
Yeah. Ouch.
Oof. You can just see his arm flopped over there, right?
Ouch.
Now, the crazy thing is he did come back into the game. So he walks off here and he comes back into the game later, which was confusing because the announcers are like, what is going on? He was clearly really hurt. Well, it was a total decoy. He wasn't going to get the ball, like, no matter what. Sure. But it was sort of effective enough, and they held on to win. But they've been missing him the last 2 games. It's really, really been a struggle for the Wolves on offense, especially.
I think it's pretty clear that Karl Anthony Towns is a really good player. And I think it's pretty clear that this team is built around Karl Anthony Towns. And the way Karl Anthony Towns goes is the way the Wolves go. And that's okay. It would be nice to see a little more fight in the rest of the team. Yep. But also Josh Okogie is now out as well. And now you have nobody down in the paint,
right,
that can even stop the opposing team. And now you have Okogie out. Now you got the wing opens up with nobody stopping him. Josh Okogie is not going to give you much offense, but the man can flat out play defense.
He made, like, in the first couple games, he's made so many tremendous plays.
Yeah.
It was really exciting.
Hustle, man.
Yeah, he's really good.
He sticks to his guy through and through. A very good defender. To get around Okogie, you have to work really hard.
Yep.
So they're going to miss him. And it's really clear they really miss Karl Anthony Towns. So now you got to switch your offensive game plan. Now you got to switch your defensive game plan. You got to do something else. So they tried their old game plan, I think, without Towns, and it just didn't work. So now switch it up. try to stay competitive, or really maybe just don't and just lose.
just keep losing, man. We need another number 1 pick,
Right, exactly. Because this coming year's draft looks unreal, super amazing, and of course, the Wolves have to have a top 3 pick in order to keep it. It's top 3 protected, otherwise it goes to Golden State. Are you kidding me? You can't make this stuff up, can you?
Oh boy.
Only the last regime would do something like this.
Yep.
Just unbelievable. Anyway, hopefully they figured out, and hopefully Cat's injury is a relatively quick one. They say it's week to week right now.
Yeah, that's
I'm looking at a
optimistic, I think.
month, probably a month at least.
Yeah.
And that poor guy's had a heck of a year.
Yeah, no kidding, because he lost his mom to COVID.
Yeah, and
right
apparently
back in like
six family members have passed away.
Holy
from COVID
moly.
for Karl Anthony Towns. And the closest one, obviously, being his mom.
Yeah. Wow.
It's rough.
That's rough. And yeah, poor guy. So many.
Well, should we talk about the other mess of a team that is currently playing in Minnesota?
Yeah, sure. So, well, I don't know that they're playing. There are people who put uniforms on, and they're generally purple in color. Sometimes, a little bit yellow, a lot yellow.
Did the special teams have a snafu this week?
Yeah, they must have, because they always do. I don't remember, honestly, so they played on Christmas Day. So it's been, they played Friday. So it's been quite a few days here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. That was a hold.
This was just a terrible game. I mean, so look, the defense is running on fumes. They're out of cornerbacks. So they've had to there's one of the people playing the position of cornerback is a linebacker, right? So that's how rough. Depleted this team is. And so it's no surprise that the defense was terrible. And the offense was did some stuff. They scored 33 points.
Yeah, they must have been fine. They put up 33 points.
Yeah, they could have had more.
Well, they always could have more.
But
that was a nice run there by Cook.
I feel like they missed a extra point. I feel like Bailey missed an extra point again.
Okay. That wouldn't surprise me.
At some point. So, but no, it was a defensive nightmare. So the running back for
Alvin
Kamara, he rushed for 6 touchdowns, which tied the NFL record for most touchdowns,
which would have been awesome
in a game
on your fantasy team.
He could have had 7. They put somebody like Hill was the other running back for the Saints, and he actually had 1 rushing touchdown. And everybody in the stadium and all the announcers are like, "Okay, here comes Kamara. He's coming back in," and then he didn't, and then Hill rushed for the touchdown. So he easily could have had 7. So I don't know quite what the Saints coach was thinking. But anyway, 6 is super impressive. And boy,
gosh, they did a jet sweep in Gary Kubiak's offense. What?
Yeah, honestly, it was a really tough game to watch. We're always playing from behind, and nothing really was going well for them on defense. It was remarkable. The way to think about this game was it was surprising when the Vikings defense got the Saints into a second down.
Oh,
so they would just drive down the field more than 10 yards, more than 10 yards, more than 10 yards, more than 10 yards. Oh, we only got 8 yards. Now it's actually second down. Okay. Here, 2nd and 1, right? There's a good example. And so it was really bad. I don't know that they had to punt the whole game.
I don't think they did.
So, it was just going down the field, going down the field, going down the field,
yeah,
down the field, and always constantly scoring. So
they at least kicked a field goal on that one.
Wow. Yeah. Well, that was still I think in the first quarter. or the start of the second quarter.
Second quarter, yeah.
Maybe they still had some gas,
Oh,
but
Thielen got like upended there. Ouch. Yeah, so I did not watch this game. We were doing Christmas stuff, but I heard about it. Kamara's 6 touchdowns. It's just crazy.
mhm.
But, just judging from afar, it looked like, again, the offense seemed to do okay. Jefferson had a big game, it looked like.
Yeah,
Irv Smith had a couple touchdowns. Is that
he
correct?
did. Yep,
Yeah.
that's right.
See, they got to get her. I think Kyle Rudolph's days as a Viking are over.
Probably.
Wouldn't even surprise me if his career is done now.
Mhm.
He is injured. He's out for this coming game on Sunday
That's right. Yep.
against Detroit, but as is Dalvin Cook, because unfortunately Dalvin Cook's father passed away today
That's right.
or yesterday. Can't remember. Only 46 years old, which is,
Hmm.
I guess he was a diabetic and must have been a complication or something, but it's just really unfortunate and really sad.
Mhm.
And I don't blame Dalvin Cook a bit for not going to the game. First off, I don't think Dalvin Cook was going to play on Sunday anyway.
I was just gonna say that. That's right.
But
Yep. Yep.
oh, there's a play by the defense.
Yeah. Yeah, but it doesn't actually count for anything. They do 3 and out and give it right back.
Are you kidding
Or
me?
is that the one where they go to 4th down and then they give it back? Anyway, it's like 3 and out. Yeah, 3rd and 4. They don't go anywhere. Oh wait, I'm sorry.
Oh, they
go
get
backwards.
sacked on 3rd and 4.
Yeah. So
See, I don't understand Kirk Cousins there. He gets hit and then he like hides instead of just trying to find an open receiver. Like, look downfield and find the open guy.
he's trying not to get like a fumble.
Yeah, but he fumbles all the time anyway. What's one more? Make a play.
Almost another interception there.
The game is actually kind of close there, though. 17-14.
For a while, it was. Yeah, basically the first half was kind of close, but it wasn't really like, if you watched the game, it was like one side had like an efficient offense and the other side was kind of like,
It looked like we're actually getting kind of pressure on the quarterback, which is
decent
bizarre.
plays. I think they
Doesn't happen
blitzed
anymore.
there. Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know what else you want to say. Sounds like if everything goes the right way, meaning the Vikings lose and everything else, whoever needs to win and lose, the Vikings could end up with the number 9 pick.
Okay.
And I think they could drop as low as 14 or 15.
All right.
So a top 10 pick would be kind of nice, or top 12.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was a really poor pass by Kirk there.
Right to the ground. Oh, I forgot about this interception.
Oh, we got another interception.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, look, the Vikings next week are playing the Lions in Detroit.
Yep.
Yeah. And they're going to be without one of their superstars, Dalvin Cook. And
which might actually be okay. We might actually see like the receivers go crazy.
There it is. No good. Yeah, I knew they missed the extra point somewhere. Yeah. Always has to be a special team snafu. Every single week.
What reminded me though, the Kansas City was up by 3 in a very makeable field goal try. And of course the other team missed. Like, it was going perfectly online, and then all of a sudden, whoop, way to the right. And you're like, of course.
Was the kicker's name Blair Walsh?
I don't know. I mean,
Gary Anderson.
When I was watching, I'm like, 100% chance he misses this just because Kansas City's just the team right now.
Yeah.
It's just crazy things like that happen. Anyway, Duff, if you're running the Vikings and you have a top 10 pick, what position are you taking?
I think there's really only one choice: offensive line.
I think there's two or three
quarterback,
choices.
Maybe. I don't know.
Quarterback, offensive line, or defensive line is what I think they'd be thinking of. And quite frankly, if your quarterback is looking like close to you, or the Fields from Ohio State is dropping or something, you got to take him, don't you?
I don't think so. And here's why. I think Kirk Cousins is a fine quarterback. He's not a great quarterback, but he's fine. If he actually had some protection, he would do much better. And so I think they've already invested in Kirk Cousins. Like, let's get some protection around him. Get some offensive linemen who can play football and protect the quarterback. Give Kirk Cousins more than 0.8 seconds to throw the ball. Give him a solid 1.5 or even 2 seconds to throw the ball.
Right.
And good things are going to happen. It won't just be constant sack, strip fumble, I don't know. Drafting a new quarterback doesn't help if they're also going to be hit within 0.8 seconds of the ball being snapped.
It does if you draft a guy like Fields who can move and maneuver. But I'm not discounting offensive line, because I 100% agree offensive line is the biggest need on this team.
That's like my theory of how to get better is take the lowest performing area and bring it up to average. And once that happens, or even simultaneously, let's worry about taking those average players and replacing them with, superstar players. Like, I'm fine with that. But like, if there's a severely below average player, or in our case, 5 of them or 4 of them all playing similar positions, like all of the offensive linemen, you're going to have problems no matter who the quarterback is, right? It's not going to go well. And so, I don't know, from my perspective, fill in and bring those positions that are currently way below average, bring them up to average.
Yeah.
And then
I think Cleveland is a good player.
Cleveland, yeah, he seems fine. Everybody else, I mean, Reef might be okay if
he's okay, but he's getting
him.
paid like he's not okay. Like, he should be really better than what he's getting paid. He's fine. Bradbury, he's okay, but he can't stay healthy.
Right.
I don't know. Let's see. We'll see where they go.
I don't know. I think Zimmer.
I think at this point you want to
go.
lose in Detroit and
for sure.
Draft position.
Yep.
I don't know. The team doesn't think that way,
Well, no. I mean, all players want to win. Like, when you get pumped up for a game, you want to go win, and you don't really care about like the bigger consequences.
No.
As they saw when what year
the
was
Jets
Andrew
won,
Luck?
no, the Jets. No, the current example is the Jets winning the last 2 games for some stupid reason. Jacksonville's sitting there and saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. What in the world? If I was a Jet fan, I would be so mad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Vikings experienced that in, what was it, 2012, whenever Andrew Luck was
won that stupid Washington game.
God. Hey, did Washington football team pick a name yet?
No.
We
don't want to rush things. It's 2020. Let's wait till 2021. See, now, Duff, everyone assumes 2021 is going to be great and it's going to be so much better than 2020. Is that assuming too much?
Maybe. I don't know. That's like the last parting gift of 2020 is to make 2021 miserable.
Yeah.
I think by summer, I think life will be looking better.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Unless something else pops up. I don't discount
the crazy
anything.
thing is, on paper, if you look at our family anyway, like Owen's potty trained, we bought a house.
We're good, man. A good year.
The list goes on and on, on paper. And then you realize that I lost half the remaining hair on my head because everything was so stressful. So
it's not important. Anyway,
so no, I don't know.
We're not off to a good start here with sports, with the Wolves being bad, the Vikings having a horrible year. But Duff, I got to talk about a team that has really impressed me.
Okay.
This team is from Minnesota. And not only has it been getting a bad rap, okay, it didn't keep the good Minnesota players, right? Jalen Suggs plays for Gonzaga. He should be playing for Minnesota, right?
Okay.
But Minnesota, Duff, the Minnesota Golden Gophers basketball team, men's basketball team, is 9-1. 9-1. They went to Illinois and got whooped. And they whooped everybody else. Let's put it that way. The Iowa team, they came back from that Illinois team and they had to face Iowa, ranked number 3 in the country. They took it right to them in the first half. They were up in the first half. It was looking great. Iowa comes back, but you can't expect Iowa to come back. They got Luke Garza. He's a stud player. He's probably the best college basketball player in the game at the moment, at least in the Big Ten. Jalen Suggs probably has something to say about that from Gonzaga, but looking good. And they were down 5, Duff. They were down 5 with 31 seconds left in the Iowa game. And then Marcus Carr, the second best player in the Big Ten. Marcus Carr, the best perimeter player in the Big Ten, came roaring back with a couple clutch threes. His name might be Mr. Clutch. And he tied the game up single-handedly. Then Johnson went absolutely nuts in overtime and scored 12 points. He had 4 threes, and Minnesota beat Iowa. So in the past stuff, what happens after Minnesota gets a great win? What do?
Usually have a great loss.
Yeah, they lay an egg.
Yep.
So Michigan State comes to town, ranked 12th or something ridiculous. Michigan State, who has our number, just destroys Minnesota every time. Here they're ranked 17, but right before that they're ranked 12, something like that.
You lose to a worse team, and so your ranking goes down. Yep.
Yeah. They come in and Minnesota destroys them. It's not even a game. The Gophers absolutely destroyed Michigan
Look at that
State
score,
from the
81-56.
It was like 30 something to like 10
at the half.
No,
or like
at one point.
I
didn't see Michigan State make back-to-back baskets till like 10 minutes left in the second half.
That's amazing.
Yeah, the announcers are like, one of the announcers was Robbie Hummel, who used to play for Purdue, great basketball player, and then he played in the pros for a while. He's Michigan State's going to make a run here, and nope. He couldn't stop talking about Michigan State, as they deserve, because they've been a great team forever. But
sure. And
then finally, this is what Izzo is on the bench. He's just like, just don't know what to do. And so now look at the game tomorrow.
Yes. Big one.
Wow.
Wisconsin.
I think that's an Eastern time too, right? I think
this would be
3:30 Central.
Yeah.
That is a big game. So then they follow that with what?
I see Ohio State.
And then they go. Then they have who?
Michigan.
And then
Iowa. And then Michigan.
Oh my goodness! Talk about murderers row. But you know what? They beat the only team that they've lost to so far is Illinois. They beat St. Louis, a good club, a mid-major club who's going to be in the tournament. Good looking team. They beat them. They beat Iowa. They beat Michigan State. Let's go Gophers. Let's take it to Wisconsin tomorrow and let's beat them. Because this team is confident. This team is roaring. This team flat out plays defense, and they have the best player on the floor every single game. The Iowa Luke Garza is a better player, I guess, than Marcus Carr, but otherwise Marcus Carr is the best player out there. And that really helps the team. He in the Michigan State game right before halftime, he's dribbling the clock out. He's about 12 seconds, dribbles it out, does a step back 3, and of course he nails it. Everyone in the stadium, everyone there knew he was going to take that shot, and the entire Minnesota club knew he was going to make it. I knew he was going to make it. You just knew it.
You can just feel it.
The kid can ball, and it's fun to watch. So, needless to say, I am on the bandwagon. Let's go Gophers. Skyuma.
So you can watch the Gophers.
Maybe that's why I'm so excited, because I can watch them. I get the Big Ten Network. I don't get FSN. Explain that one to me. But I get the Big Ten Network. So.
Well, I sent you the link to watch the Timberwolves if you want to watch on your computer.
Oh, okay.
Anyway. Yeah, that's exciting. So Gophers men's basketball doing well so far. We'll see what the next couple weeks hold, huh?
What's great is they have a stud down low named Liam Robbins.
Okay.
Now Liam Robbins, he's going to give you 13 points a game, some good rebounding, but he also gives you 4 or 5 blocks a game. The guy is 7 feet tall.
Oh wow, that's awesome!
And he can shoot the ball from outside and make free throws. He's just affects the game. And then they have their Gabe Klauscher, and he is just a rock defensive player. He misses every single 3-point shot. It just drives me nuts, but the guy just can flat out play defense. So they have a decent bench, and hopefully they can put this team together, and then they can keep all the good Minnesota recruits, because the 2 best recruits in the best recruit on the men's side and the best recruit on the women's side were both Minnesotans this year. And it stinks that they're not wearing maroon and gold.
Right. Yeah, all of this talk has made me realize that we forgot to mention that. So the Timberwolves season started, by the way, and Anthony Edwards, the number 1 overall pick, looking good, looking strong so far.
Yeah, he looks like a good player.
He seems fine, nailing shots that are contested, like he's doing everything that you'd want. So, it's a small sample size, 4 games, but so far so good.
He definitely has the body
satisfied.
for it.
Yeah. Yep. Because he's like 6'5", 6'6".
He's a heck of an athlete.
Something like that. And like super strong. So, Yep.
And 19. Hey, let's teach him the game. He's got the tools.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And actually looks like the best player in the draft so far.
Okay.
LaMelo Ball can flat out pass, but he can't do anything else. So
okay. Yeah, I think the Timberwolves are probably pretty satisfied so far with their choice. It's good. A little bit of Twins news. So mostly the Twins haven't done anything all off season. They've watched other players get signed, and I got in a Twitter war with a couple people because they were
Wilson.
Well, yeah, I don't. Yeah, and look. Anyway, there's some story. Oh, they're linked to, or they're showing interest in this player and that player. And my
Marcus
point was,
Semien, right?
Yeah, he was one of them. There were some others too, but it's like, look, my entire life, I'm 38 years old. The Bullheads have owned the Twins for 37 of those 38 years.
Sure.
And the first year doesn't really count because you don't know English when you're 1 year old, pretty much. And in any case, I'm sick and tired of hearing about how they're interested in and they're in on and a lot of these Twitter tweets were like, oh, but they offered $100 million to Zach Wheeler. Well, yeah, but like, if that's great, that sounds like a lot of money. They got outbid
by $25 million.
Right, you're not anywhere any close.
You weren't even close to it.
If you have a $20,000 car and somebody offers you $10,000 for it, like, that's a lot of money. But it's not what it's worth. Right. And so just these tweets are ridiculous. And I'm kind of sick and tired of hearing that they're in on people and they're interested in and they're made an offer to. That's great, but they're not wearing the Twins uniform. And that is the only thing that counts. And the thing that can make somebody wear a Twins uniform is that green stuff. Those American dollars from the Pollad's bank account.
So we do recognize that this front office is different than Terry Ryan. Like Terry Ryan, we would never even try for anything. We get that. Sure. This front office is different, and I like that, and I appreciate that. And we did get Donaldson. Now, saying that, I don't understand why we have to change our position. Like these writers and these beat writers and these guys following the teams. Change your position. No, I want to see a track record.
That's right. One example
does not make a difference.
It does not account for 37 years of hearing the same old.
I fully expect something different. I 100% expect either Simmons or Semien or even the Cubs guy. Why is his name escape? Javier Baez. I mean, maybe the Twins trade for Javier Baez.
Turns out he's related to Jose Barrios, by the way.
No, their wives are sisters.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. I knew there was some like family connection. Yeah.
So anyway, I fully expect one of those 3 men to be on the Twins. So I do expect things to change, but until it happens, I'm not giving the Twins the benefit of the doubt.
No.
One Josh Donaldson signing does not make up for anything.
That's right.
There's no reason that the Twins can't do this. Look at the Padres. Look at the week the Padres have had. Okay.
All right, break it down, Joe. Break it down. This is what a team that wants to win does.
And let's be honest. The Twins and the Padres, they're pretty much the same team, right?
That's right.
Meaning they're a mid-level club. They're not a low club. Okay, they're a mid-level club.
That's right.
And I don't know, they just went for it this week. So they have a God darn it, the name's escaping me. They have a good ace on their team already, homegrown ace, and then they traded for Clevenger last year. Not only that, they have Fernando Tatis, probably let's compare him to Francisco Lindor. He's that good. He's not that good yet, but he's probably gonna be that good. He's a super stud all-star player. He is he could lead that club. Plus they have Manny Machado. So really the Padres have kind of been going to this for the last couple of years. I mean, signing Manny Machado is huge. And then they signed Eric Hosmer. Again, Twins. One Josh Donaldson signing.
Mm-hmm.
That's two right there for the Padres. Then they blew it out of the water last year with a trade for Mike Clevenger. Now Clevenger had Tommy John surgery, so that kind of stinks for the Padres. So Clevenger really won't be back this coming year. He won't be pitching. Possibly playoff September. Probably not.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably not.
Lamet, I think, is the guy you were thinking of.
There you go.
Dinelson Lamet. Yep.
Super good player. Super good pitcher. Tons of talent. Put it together.
So that's like kind of like Barrios.
No, he's better than Barrios.
Maybe better. Okay. And then they added Clevenger, Darvish, Snell.
No. Like this is where they're at coming into this. I haven't even gotten to what they're weak.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
Anything yet?
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Now Padres also have a top 5 farm system. So what did they do? They used that farm system, and they went and traded for Blake freaking Snell, who, by the way, over the next 3 years is only due $39 million. He's like Kenta Maeda, for crying out loud.
Yep.
Like, he's just a sick contract. Stud left-hander. Okay, the year last year.
And remind me, what game did he last play in, Joe?
Oh, yeah, that's right. The World Series.
Game
7. And got pulled for some stupid reason.
Pitched like brilliantly for
Evan Cash
5
just had a
innings.
brain fart. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I just don't understand the modern baseball. It drives me crazy sometimes. Like, maybe over a season it's fine, but in the biggest games, leave him in, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
And it backfired. So anyway, Blake Snell traded to the Padres, and the Padres really only gave up one really high prospect in that deal.
That's
so
right. Yep.
they gave up a really good flame-throwing right-hander, but he's not polished. Nobody they gave up is polished. Nobody is knocking at the door.
That's
now,
right.
The Rays in history has they win these trades.
That's right.
But
Chris Archer, for example, just a couple years ago with the Pirates.
Nobody that really knew what they were doing was going to trade for Chris Archer there. I did not want Chris Archer on the Twins. I'm super glad they didn't trade for him because I knew he was done.
Okay.
At least at the time. I don't know. Something wasn't right with him. Anyway, so that was the breaking news. Then the best Japanese gentleman, infielder, I think he's Japanese, maybe he's Korean. His last name is Kim. Who is he signed with? The Padres. Yes, he signed with the Padres. So now, in the span of 24 hours, they nailed Snell, and they got a top 5 free agent signing. So to tap that off, they go out and get Yu Darvish, basically a top 10 pitcher, top 5 pitcher in the game. And they traded for Yu Darvish from the Cubs. So this says 2 things to me. Number 1, Padres are flat out going for it, and flat out great rotation right now.
And they don't care that they're in the same division as the Dodgers.
Nope,
they do not care.
They don't care.
Yeah.
They and why would you? Like, in today's baseball playoffs, you don't have to win the division.
That's right.
So
look at this rotation.
Yu Darvish, Blake Snell, and Lamet.
And then hopefully Clevenger, maybe at the end.
I don't think they're done, Duff.
You don't think so? You think they're going for Mr. 200 million?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Maybe.
I think the Angels win it. I think the Padres make a darn good push.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe now he ends up in the blue. because the Dodgers say, "Oh,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got to do something here."
It could that could be so. Obviously, we're talking about Trevor Bauer, and he just was twittering this week about how, or there's a lot of Twitter this week about him expecting a 5 to 6 year contract, approximately 30 to 40 million per year.
Yeah,
In
I've heard
total,
36 to 40.
yeah. So it's going to be a $200 million contract, right? For about 5 years, 6 years. And yeah, so I guess what you're proposing is that the Dodgers are going to take a look at the Padres pitching staff and they're going to say, we need more. And they're going to pony up and they're going to pay Trevor Bauer.
I don't know if that's going to happen,
It
but
might.
I think it's possible.
That's
And
plausible. Yep.
I got to go to my number 2 thing.
Okay.
And it's something that I hinted at before with Javi or Baez. I think the Cubs are in sell mode.
I mean, they got rid of Darvish.
Not only that, they also got rid of what was his name? Theo Epstein.
That's right. Yep.
Well, they didn't really get rid of him. He retired or whatever. He
I heard
resigned.
Chris Bryant. They've been shopping Chris Bryant.
Yeah.
Javi Baez.
Obviously, the Twins wouldn't be in on Bryant with Donaldson, but
That's
I
right.
think they would be in on Baez. I think it's a possibility anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But then why? Like, just go sign Simmons. He wouldn't cost you any prospects.
That's right.
And
Yep.
that's the man. That's the guy I want. Now, obviously, Semien, I'd be super happy with, and he's probably a better overall player, and definitely a better hitter. But Simmons is just a stud defender, and I think I'd take that right now. I want to. That left side of that field would be ridiculous. So Donaldson and Simmons.
Yeah, and it could relieve a little pressure off Donaldson defensively, which might keep him.
Yeah. Now I've been
keep him in the lineup a little more.
I've been hearing Gleeman. I've been hearing Hayes throw out some ridiculous things, and it all started with Rosenthal talking about trading Arise, and which just basically proves to me he doesn't know what the Twins are doing, because the person that the Twins would not trade, I'm not saying they wouldn't trade Arise, but the person that they don't want to trade the most on this team is Luis Arise.
That's right. He does everything right. He does everything the way they want to play baseball. Now,
I mean, you would sell high on Arise.
Sure. If the Yankees came and they said, we want Luis Arise, would you take Garrett Cole?
I'd say
the answer would be yes.
Yes.
Right. So, there is a price,
right,
but
of course,
it's going to be high.
But I think the Twins would trade Polanco before Arise at this point. Now, you'd be selling a little bit lower on Polanco. But that contract is sick for Polanco, and the guy can flat out hit.
Yeah. I don't see why we're talking trades at all. Like, why are we getting rid of?
I wouldn't. I would sign a shortstop.
There's free agents out there. They only cost the Polad money. Like,
exactly. That's right. I would. If I'm running the Twins and I'm looking at it, I would sign Simmons, and I would make Polanco the utility infielder and basically play him 6 out of 7 days.
Sure.
I mean, obviously, the Rise needs a break once in a while.
Yep.
Donaldson needs a day off every week because he can't stay healthy.
That's right.
And obviously, Polanco can play short, so give Simmons a rest once in a while too.
That's right. Yep.
I don't have a problem with that.
He can fill in all three.
And then DH him.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
When Cruz needs his weekly rest.
And I'm sure Polanco could take over left field, like on occasion. Like if you can play shortstop, you can probably play left field just fine.
For sure.
So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like that all it costs is money. It doesn't cost any talent.
And it's not even going to cost that much money. I think you could sign Simmons to a 2-year deal for $30 million.
Yeah.
Done.
And you don't even need a DH. Like we all love Cruz and we want Cruz back, but like he's kind of a luxury item. And if you're worried about payroll, like, sorry, I mean, bring up one of the rookies who can apparently hit, Larnack or Kirilov or whatever. If those bats are as good as we think they are, Rooker, bring him on up, give him a shot.
Which I think this is entirely possible, and I'm pretty sure, almost a guarantee, by this time next year, Mitch Garver is traded.
That I'd be fine with that.
I think Ryan Jeffers
looks like the real deal.
He looked like a good player.
Yep.
And I like Mitch Garver. He didn't look good this year, but the last year he was just ridiculous. He'd be a good fine price.
Yeah, I think so. You know, if
So-
he comes back this year and does fine to
Mhm.
excellent, I
Mhm.
suspect that he'll be gone, and I
So-
think I'd be okay with that. Although, man, could you imagine like keeping both Jeffers and Mitch Garver like long term, like back to back? Like you don't really have a primary catcher; you have two primary catchers, and they're
Yeah.
resting.
Like Garver hits against all the lefties.
Yeah.
But the Twins like one of their best position player prospects is a catcher yet. I
Mhm.
don't recall his name right now, but he is a catcher. So they have another good one after Jeffers. Anyway, I think that the Twins are going to I think they're going to sign a shortstop. And obviously they're going to sign some more bullpen.
Mhm.
Hansel Robles. Didn't have a good last 60 games last year, but a lot of people didn't. But he has closed in the past. He's a good player. And I think they got him for like $2 million or something.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, some ridiculously low number.
So he's been pretty good. Yeah, a free agent contract worth $2 million. Yeah, so he started with the Mets for a few years, and then
Mhm.
he was in the Angels. He did very poorly last year. They attributed it to about a 2 mile per hour decrease in his fastball from 97 something to 95 something, and things did not go well when you don't throw as hard. And look, he's a right-handed pitcher. He apparently Wes Johnson must say, I know how to fix this, or
Yep.
I'm reasonably confident I know how to fix this.
I'm totally fine with it.
And I believe Wes Johnson. So, and look, so he fills one of the 4 spots that are vacated, right?
Mhm.
So they
It's a good signing.
they
Mhm.
lost Romo, Clippard, Trevor May, and Whistler. So they lost 4 right-handed relievers, and this fills one of those gaps.
And I
would
gotta
assume so.
think I'm thinking they have a prospect that they're thinking of.
Well, and they also signed all those guys to minor league deals. They signed like 7.
Yeah.
Sorry, they signed like 7 right-handed relievers to minor league deals, and hopefully one of those guys will come through. So you kind of maybe have 2.
Mhm.
But I hope they signed, somebody good like Brad Hand or something.
Rosenthal.
Yeah.
That's who I want. The guy he gets 100 miles an hour. Or, trade.
Sure. But again, like there's free agents out there, and all it costs is the poll ads money, and I'm
Right.
fine spending the poll ads money.
Oh yeah. 100%.
It doesn't cost me anything as a fan. And it makes the team better without reducing the talent either on the major league or minor league level.
I mean, if they sign Bauer, they sign Rosenthal, I'd be one happy camper. I also be buying a lottery ticket because that'd be great. Yeah.
I don't care like how much of the poll ads money it takes. Like
Just
sign
give
Bauer.
him $50 million for 1 year. See it. Just do
See
it.
if he takes it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Trevor, I give you $50 million for 1 year. That's it.
Yeah. We
What are you
need to
gonna do?
end this losing streak
Mhm.
in the playoffs. So
Did
I've
you
been saying
know-
it for 10 years.
No.
I've been saying it since 2010. All I want to see is the Twins win 1 playoff game.
1. Let's start there.
1.
Now, Duff, I did send you a slide. Do you have it? A WAR projection slide?
Oh, yeah. Give me a minute here. I got to log in.
Now, so on this projection slide, you're going to see some things. 2 things popped out at me.
Hold on.
Number-
You should
number-
just remind people what it is. What's
It's
WAR?
wins above replacement player. Which WAR is wins above replacement players. So, and as this slide is looking, I say slide, but this graph is looking at projected WAR for this coming year for the team. 2 things pop out at me. Number 1, the Padres, which are highlighted just behind the Dodgers. Look how close they are. Sick.
Yeah, but when was this? Like that might have been before they signed.
No, this was after they signed it.
Oh, okay.
Now go down. You got New York. Can't argue there.
Yep.
Houston surprises me a little bit because Springer's not coming back. And then look who's next.
Number 5.
Yeah, look at number 6 though.
Angels? There's something weird about.
No, they have Trout.
That's Mike Trout, right? So he's like
it's
8
Trout
or 10 of
and
this.
It's Trout and it's their third baseman.
Uh,
Washington guy. Rendon.
Rendon. There you go.
Anthony
Yeah.
Rendon.
So those
But yeah,
two guys
look at that.
together are like 20.
Yeah, they're like a third of that number. And then the White Sox. And then Cleveland. So
Yep.
and a lot of good teams here. But look
And
at
at the
Minnesota,
bottom is
number 5.
Yeah, the bottom
Colorado
is
with Trevor Story, by the way.
Yep.
And
Texas,
Arenado.
Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Miami, Detroit. So the only AL Central team is that's in the bottom here in the basement is Detroit.
Yep. You go up a little ways, there's Kansas City, but look at that.
Yep.
Cleveland, Chicago, and Minnesota are all top 8.
Yep.
Top 7. Top 8. Excuse me, top 8. But yeah, Minnesota number 5.
Crazy.
I think they have the 4th best World Series odds too. Something like that. 4th or 5th. The Twins.
Well,
We're
that's
here.
totally wrong. It should be 0.
The Twins are I know. But I mean but what we're saying is they have a great team. So let's take it up one more notch.
Yeah. Trevor Bauer's out there.
I mean, Maeda,
Simmons,
Bauer.
Simeon.
Oh,
Yeah, that'd be nice. And
Anyway.
that would put Barrios back to the 3rd spot where I think that's
takes
kind of
the
where
pressure
he
off him.
belongs,
Takes the pressure off him.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, for how many years have people uttered this ridiculous statement that Jose Barrios is the ace of this staff? He's not an ace.
No,
He's
he's
like a
not an ace.
quality. He's like an above average
He has the
pitcher.
stuff to be an ace.
Yep. I mean,
He's
that
got ace
curveball,
stuff.
holy man, just crazy.
And the fastball moves.
Yep.
He's got a nice change. He's got good stuff. You can't argue with his stuff. So
Yep.
Anyway, fun week to be a Padres fan. Fun week to be a baseball fan. And let's go Twins. Let's add some more pieces. I think that that signing, Robles 1-year deal, $2 million. How do you go wrong on that? You don't go wrong on that. That's good signing.
That's fine.
Yep, like it.
All right, I've got a trivia for you.
Do it.
Okay, so can you name the Minnesota pro sports teams with the best and worst franchise winning percentages?
Best to worst?
Yeah.
Are you including the links?
Yeah, so I've got 6 teams on there.
Okay, tell me the teams.
So the 4 major men's teams.
Yep.
And then Minnesota United.
Mm-hmm.
They're only a couple seasons old, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Lynx.
Okay. Probably the Lynx number 1.
That's what you think? Okay.
Well, they had some really bad years at the beginning, but then they were okay, and then they were really good. Vikings number 2, or you could flip-flop them. All right. Let's see. But I'll go Lynx number 1, Vikings number 2.
Okay.
And then let's see. Who do I got left? I got the Twins, the Wild, the Wolves, and the Loons.
Yep.
Well, the Twins had really good years, but they had really, really bad years. The Wolves have been really bad, but then they were good for a while. So I'll say the Wild,
Okay.
the Loons,
Uh-huh.
Twins, Wolves.
That's pretty close. So when I thought about this myself, I got 2 correct. You got well, you also got 2 correct, but they were different ones. So my guess was that the Timberwolves were the worst, and you agreed with me, and that's correct. The Timberwolves have not even won 400. So they're 396 overall franchise winning percentage. Really bad. So the other one that I had correct that you were very close is the Vikings are number 1 at 547.
Mm-hmm.
So you had them at 2. And then I didn't really know. I was totally wrong on all the ones in the middle. So here's the actual order. The Vikings are number 1. The Lynx are number 2. So the Lynx are,
I knew those 2 were.
yeah, they're super
2.
close. So the Vikings are at 547 and the Lynx are at 541.
It was pretty
Almost the
obvious
same.
those 2 were the top 2.
Yep. And then third is actually the Wild. They're basically 500. They're 497.
Yeah, they've had a lot of good years.
Mm-hmm. And then the Twins, pretty close to that. They're number 4 at 481.
So the Loons are really bad there for a while.
Yeah, the first 3 years for the Loons were really terrible. And they're at 463 though. So there's kind of like the Vikings and the Lynx are way at the top at like 540 something. And then the Wild, the Twins, and Minnesota United are kind of, well, the Wild and the Twins are basically 500. Minnesota United is a little lower. It's 463. And then the Timberwolves are 396. Just terrible. Now,
No, at present time, the Twins are number one
how
out
do you
of all
figure?
these teams. Like today, the
Oh,
Twins
yeah.
are the best.
Yeah. In terms of like what we expect for the upcoming seasons, basically, or the season that just started.
And then probably the Lynx.
Yep.
And then probably the Wild.
That's right.
And then Vikings.
Vikings are really
Well,
low.
no. The Loons were probably number 2.
Yeah. Well, no, they lost Molino though. I don't know. And he was like one of their.
Doesn't matter.
But
The Wolves are
yeah.
still the last.
Yeah. They're just. Oh man.
But they probably weren't before Towns' injury. So.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
I don't know.
Could they make could they get a third number 1 overall pick on this team? Do you think? They have 2 already. Maybe
Why
they get a
not?
third?
Let's get a third.
That'd be pretty crazy. Anyway, nice. Yeah. So so that's the ranking. Vikings, Lynx, Wild, Twins, Minnesota United, and then the basement is the Timberwolves. And in case you're wondering, yes, I included all of the ties and the draws properly. So you basically a tie is a half
In
a win
soccer and hockey.
and a half a loss. Yeah. So yeah,
And
hockey doesn't have
football,
ties
I
anymore,
guess.
but they used to. So
Football, I guess, has ties, but not very many.
not very many. Yep. So
Sounds good.
cool. All right, Joe.
I got
all I
nothing.
have. Nope, that's it.
Yep. Well, I hope you have a good week, and I hope everyone out there has a good week. And just remember to be kind to one another, grow your own food, and John 3:16.